Okay, so on the last video, I ran out of time, unfortunately, so what happens is YouTube won't allow me to upload videos that go over, so I'm just going to have to go back to what I was doing and try to figure out where I was at. On the footer, I need to clear both because, remember, the floated elements collapse, and we've got some really funny things starting to happen. Okay, the footer's where it needs to be. And what I was trying to do is I'm making two boxes side by side. And this is the very bottom layer, so this would be content bottom. So I need to clear it and make it go underneath the other one. So I'm going to go clear both. Save, take a look at it. And that's now looking like it's supposed to. To get these two items side by side, these two boxes, I had to do a couple of things. I had to float them, and as I was explaining, I think, on the video that got destroyed, a floated element is like a plastic bag inside the cardboard box. It has no, it does what they call collapse. It has no height or width, essentially. According to web standards, it collapses. So other items will try to pile up beside it, and it doesn't ordinarily go side by side. And before, what we were looking at last time was this layout method where you can see normally divs go on top of each other. These are cardboard boxes. These are big, heavy boxes. They like to go one on top of the other. They don't normally go side by side, and to get them side by side, we have to apply a float. But floats collapse, and they cause a bunch of headaches and bugs when they collapse. In order to get the divs to pile one on top of each other again, you have to clear it. So these underneath the two floated divs have to be cleared. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. So I'll go back to normal appearance. I added in just some basic text and things so that I can see what I'm doing and what effect it has here in these boxes. Remember what I was doing is I'm going to make a navigation over here. So I've put in just some basic links. I've just made them dummy links. They don't link out to anything. I've just simply put a number sign in the link box. Alright, on this text.css2, what I did in the last video that you probably didn't see is underneath content, I made a box for content because I'd forgot it. And then underneath it, I'd put content-left and content-right. And I had copied and pasted essentially the same thing. I also explained that padding was like bubble wrap inside of the cardboard boxes that you have over on your HTML page. And it pads it out so that the text doesn't rub up against the sides. You can think of an object in the box. You don't want it rubbing up directly against the side and getting scratched up. But now sometimes when you stack your boxes, you don't want your boxes to stack side, bumping up against each other side by side. So I had these two boxes, they're bumped up side by side. So I put a margin in between. It's like scooting the boxes apart a little bit. And you can see that here, these boxes, if I can click on this, you can see this is padded. And it says 28 pixels when so this has like some foam wrap inside of it. And if I can click on this one, it's not directly bumping up against the other box, or it shouldn't be if I did it right. Which I might have not. It looks like the margin might have not kicked in on that. So let me go check that in my test CSS. Content right, my right hand box, I have a margin of 35 pixels set. I might have to extend that out to 45. Again, if I increase this by 10, I have to decrease this by 10. And that was something else we learned in the other video. Your margins and paddings, your box size has to stay the same. Just like, in physics, your box size doesn't magically expand whenever you need to put a larger object inside of it. Your box size is your box size. So if you're going to pad it full of, peanuts or something, you have to make adjustments. That box size has to stay the size it is. It can't magically expand. So if we add padding here to the left or to the right, we have to decrease the width. So if I was to increase this to, not that one, but if I increased, oh, let me pick an easy one so I can do easy math. If I increase the left-hand side to 40 pixels, then I have to decrease the width by 10 pixels too. So you have to do some mathematics on these, and it kind of sucks if you're math challenged like I am. If you're very good at math and you can see those boxes in your head, it'll go pretty easy for you. I don't know anyone quite like that, but most of us work it out on paper, believe it or not. Use your paper. What else was I going to tell you about floats and margins? Geez, I feel like I'm leaving out something really important since that other video got deleted. But anyway, I have my basics for this navigation, so I'm going to go ahead and style it real quick if I can before I run out of time. In Adobe Photoshop, I took and my background stripe that I had, I took just a basic stripe. I went image size, and I made it 15 by 15, which is a bullet size, the size of a bullet. So after I got that, I went save for web. I saved it as a bullet. So now I have my own custom bullets. And I did that a while back so I'd have it to show you. So now what I want to do is I'm going to copy and paste basically this up here that I have for the other navigation bar, this nav list. I'm going to copy and paste it underneath this content left. And if you're not real good with left and right, man, just double check that, because left and right can really important. Okay, again, I'm tabbing in so I know. I'm going to copy this content left, and I'm going to replace nav list with content left. And then we're just going to modify the heck out of this and make us a really pretty list. If I don't run out of time again. Okay, so you can do it this way. You can go through and you could say like display inline, you can remove that, and you could tinker with this and make it look like a really nice looking version of the top nav. But I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. But I just wanted to show you that's one way you can do it. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to tab in and go content left, and LI, and then 2 curly brackets. And then I'm going to use Dreamweaver to do the rest. So I can go to list style. This type is going to be square, but I'm also going to choose my bullet. But just in case my bullet doesn't show up, the square will. And let's see what else I set for this. I've got some margins. So I'll get a block, let's see. I'm going to uncheck same for all. And I have a left margin of 15. And I have a top margin of 10. And I'll push OK. And so Dreamweaver is going to fill this in for me. I want it to tab over, so I'm going to select it and tab it over. Sometimes if you let Dreamweaver do too much for you, Dreamweaver tends to put your elements in screwy